Hello everybody, this is Ben Keelis, and I will be taking you through how Generac has effectively streamlined processes while improving data quality and saving valuable hours using Winshuttle. A little bit about myself. I am located at the Generac headquarters in Waukesha, Wisconsin, located by Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am the supervisor of SAP Materials Data. My background is in engineering and operations. For the past 6 years, I've been working in the SAP environment and working for Generac for a total of 20 years. The one thing I do love to do when I'm not spending time working is enjoying my family. As shown in the picture was our last trip, which was to Legoland. Kids really enjoyed it. A little bit about Generac. We were founded in 1959. We are a leader in design and manufacturing of a wide range of power generation equipment and other power products, serving the residential, light commercial, and industrial markets. Products are available globally. 13 acquisitions were completed since 2011, and approximately we have 5,700 employees as of January 1st, 2019. We also are a global manufacturing, distribution, fulfillment, and commercial footprint with facilities located in the US, Latin America, Europe, and Asia. The challenges Generac faced were material master, vendor master, and operations. The first challenge was material master. We had several users trying to access MMO1 to activate their section of purchasing, quality, operations, costing, sales, all of those. We each had a user assigned to go in, put their information in, and then back out and sign off on their completion. What would happen when purchasing would be in the material, for an example, they would be locking out a salesperson that would be trying to get in to add their portion. Then what would happen would that person in sales would forget to go back and complete their section, making the part incomplete and unfulfilled correctly. As well as in each of these streams, we'd have plant area being filled out as well, and standards were not being met as a whole company. So not giving us a full correct setup as well as a standard of how we should be following in SAP. Our second challenge was vendor master. This was a manual entry process done by 1 to 2 users with several fields to be filled in. Addresses, phone numbers, such of that nature was redundant, so several fields with the same information being entered, as well as spelling and grammar and data quality was also a key factor. What we found was in our quality of data that was coming through had to have several self-audits being done. A third challenge that Generac faced was in our plant operations, with the lack of man hours to support data entry to utilize SAP to the fullest. The key to this was to develop Winshuttle scripts to streamline with rapid completion process. And how we were going to accomplish that was to purchase Winshuttle, assemble a data team with material master to create and maintain large changes in audits, vendor master to create and maintain audits as well, and also customer master team to create and maintain audits. The first set of scripts were to be used by the data team. Material masters was MMO1 and MMO2. For vendors it was XK01 and XK02, and customer master XD01 and XD02. This was for auditing as well as for part setup. Other areas that Winshuttle could be used for us early on was in order entry at VA01 and VA02, as well as service IE01, IE02, MB51, MB52, and in operations at CA01 and CA02. We look to expand those areas in the company as well as others that were not being seen, but could be used in. In this slide, I wanted to show our history of where we're at with SAP, as well as Winshuttle. So back in 2015 is when we kicked off loading into SAP, which our first implementation was Oshkosh. It was one plant. Then in 2016, we added Generac, which was 8 facilities. And then at the end of the year, we implemented Berlin, adding 4 more plants. Then we moved into 2017, end of the year. We added our first international plant, which was Mexico. And then as you can see here in 2018, we first implemented Winshuttle. We saw the use of the need of it, as stated before in the solutions, to help support those first plants that we've loaded, as well as future loads. So in 2019, in August there, we loaded our Burlington, Vermont plant, and then onto our future plants. Along with all these loads of plants and implementations, where was the need of the business to support them in speeding up processes that come with each of the new plants that we would add. For our vendor master, we used the XK01 multi-tab design. What this did was allowed us to enter all the information that is needed for a vendor into one Excel file. When doing this, we eliminated 8 fields in the VN that needed to be added for address information. And then in the PI, the same fields for address were redundant in the VN. So we only need to enter the address information once between the 2 creations of the XK01 section for PI and VN. Then we chain these all together to create the partner function that is needed to complete the process for vendor master. The vendor master team uses this daily and also replaced 7 LSMW migration tools that we were using. Here is our material master creation slide, MMO1 single tab design. Here we're using a default settings, which are from the business standard settings for each plant that they've come up with. We also added some blank fields in between each of these areas to allow for additional fields to be added when needed. We added a gray column separation field as well to show which tab you are on in SAP to help walk a user through which fields and area that they're working on. We also use if statements to bypass unused screens such as warehouse and storage location based off of the part setup needs. In this slide is CA02 Routing Component Allocation Script. Here we're going to show you how it works and demonstrate it. This is using Excel macro and a Winshuttle script combination. First half of the script is to extract all the data using Excel macro, using GUI scripting through SAP. Then the file is ready to send to the business to allow them to make changes to the needed columns of activities, and then sent back to the runner to load using CA02. Now we'll walk through the demonstration on how this one works. Here we go ahead and start with clicking the CA03 button in Excel. Go through some checkboxes we have. Now it's running through SAP, extracting all the views needed for the script. Okay, now we go to the Output tab, and we'll show you how the Excel layout matches the CA03 layout. Log in, put the information so they match. Here we go. We'll slide over and make some changes here to the screen so you can see everything on one screen. You can see how both the Excel and the SAP match identically to help the user input the data and see line for line how everything lines up. Now we'll make some changes to some data here in the activity column, which will update in the Excel and then go into SAP when we run the script. So this is a change, so we're going to delete the unneeded lines. And fix the column A so it has the H and D's for the loop. All right. So we go and run that. Nope, I'm running with add. It should be changed. So let me change that and rerun it. There we go. Now the changes will go in. Okay, there we go. Changes have been made. We'll back out here and we will show you the changes in the CA03 screen in SAP. Oh, looks like we need to back all the way out. There we go. Go back in. Excuse me. All right, we put in the inputs and go into component allocation, and we'll move this over so we can see it again. Again, it looks very identical to the Excel, and we'll see that the changes are made between the activity in both of the sheets. Here in this slide, I'd like to show how Generac uses our Winshuttle licenses. We have 3 developers. They're all in the master data team. We have 8 runners also in the master data team, 2 in vendor master, 2 in customer master, and 4 in material master. And then we have 8 runners also in the business areas, 2 in accounting, 2 in order management, 2 in product management, 1 in service, and 1 in corporate pricing. Let's walk through what Generac has seen for results using Winshuttle. Generac has been using Winshuttle for about 2 years now. We've used over 66 T codes, reduced the LSMW usage, eliminated manual errors. Process improvements have been seen in service department, material master, and several other areas. A few successes for Generac was order entry that was being done manual. Now it's used Winshuttle to quickly turn around orders that are needed in disaster response locations. For material master data manual setup has changed from being manual to using Winshuttle. Allows the time for the users, instead of setting up parts manually, to be used to support day-to-day requests. We have several audits empowering the data owners, which are used to send the user an email of the errors to be corrected. In this chart, we'll show some time savings that have been found. Our average time without Winshuttle in seconds at Material Master is 180 seconds. For Customer Master, it's about 76 seconds. And for Vendor Master, it's about 150 seconds. What we have been seeing for an average time of using Winshuttle for Material Master is about 2 seconds per record. Customer Master, about 1.5 seconds per record. And Vendor Master is about 3 seconds per record. Our time savings that we have seen over a year and a half's worth in hours at Material Master, 5,617. Customer Master, 7,071. Vendor Master, 8,249. Compared to a 40-hour week with a year's worth of time in hours is 2,080. With these results so far, Generac has been able to redirect those saved hours to other urgent projects that come up on a daily basis. A few lessons learned that I've seen. The first script you write will not be perfect, but will lead you to an improved one quickly. My advice to others would be to work with key stakeholders on the buy-in of Winshuttle in their area of the company. And another key point to point out in my lessons learned is the use of the Winshuttle forum to ask questions, learn about what others are using Winshuttle for. Pre-developed scripts are available to review as needed to develop your own, and to get ideas from blogs and webinars are a great help. What's next for Generac? Grow within the company. We still have areas that are using manual processes, and to redirect those to be changed into Winshuttle scripts to improve processes. Another area for us is to load faster. Using Direct might improve that load time from using the standard process of Winshuttle. The last area I'd like to talk about is loading without a user. We currently use it with a round trip of extract and load on a daily basis, but also look into other areas such as other tools to load from an email or from another system directly using the Winshuttle program. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you along your journey with Winshuttle.